I have to say, watching it, you know, it's a tense, spooky drama, but I love the scenes between you and Dean. It seemed that you got on really well.
I'd never met Dean before, and I have to say I had never watched Ashes to Ashes or Life on Mars or anything, although I'd heard about it. And we just hit it off straight away. He's very easy to get on with, and he's... he kept saying to me, I've never done comedy before, nobody knows, you know, that I can do comedy, I always play bad men, and I was like, really? But you're great at comedy, you know, you sort of very deadpan, but he's really lovely. We had a lot of fun.
Now, Dean says he doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yes.
But I think you do, don't you?
I definitely believe in ghosts, or believe in some sort of phenomena. I really do. And it was very interesting because on the screening afterwards, when we had the talk with the press, I realised that all of the women said they believe, or they like to believe, or would hope that there's something. And Dean, well, he was in our group, he was the only guy, but he was absolutely no, got to see it to believe it. And I don't know whether it's something that women are more sort of feel that they're more connected to as a possibility than men in general, or whether it just is that it's just happens to be us as women who have those hopes and feelings.
I think it's this energy, and Marchlands itself, the house, is such... well, a massive character. It's the main character in it, really, and
yes.
It has this energy which affects the children in the.
Yes, you see, I think that houses do hold on to energies, and whether you know, however you want to explain it away, I'm certain that everybody will walk into a house and either you say, oh, this has got a really good energy about it, or you can walk into somewhere and go, no, don't like this house, there's something about it, I don't like it. And it's got nothing to do with whether it's dark or not, or old or what, there's just, and that's never really been explained. And I think it has to come from what has happened in that space.
I think, you know, we're obsessed with Who Do You Think You Are, looking at other lives and things like that. And I think this programme, this drama has that as well, as you peel back the layers to find out this mystery.
Yes, I mean, literally, you're peeling back the layers. I mean, the character of Nisha, she's literally steaming the wallpaper off to discover the past. And what she sees is a beautiful mural on a wall. And but when we as the viewers see it, we immediately realise, oh, this is more than just a beautiful mural on the wall. There is something, there's a connection here, there's something spooky, something has happened, we don't know quite what, but I love the way that the different families are all interlinked without them realising that they are. And I also love the introduction of the same character but played by a different actor, either as the older character or as the younger character. I think that works really well, and I think they've been really well cast, because I totally believe, for example, that Anne Reid is the older version of Ruth. I really totally believe it. And I found, I mean, I knew the script, but just watching the end of episode 2, I started to get really emotional when she suddenly got back into that room and said, I'm Mummy's home. I mean, oh dear, it really, really, it just struck such a strong chord with me.
And as a mum yourself, you know, you feel that, you know, thinking about what's happened to this child.
Yes. When we started, the crew and everybody, and the director, they had just spent 3 weeks sort of with Ruth Bowen and the 60s lot, and they just were so relieved to be living in the 80s all of a sudden, because they just said, oh,
oppressive,
yes, it's so oppressive, and so many scenes in the kitchen with nobody talking and just, you know, the clicking of knives on plates and and they said, oh, thank God for Ellen and Eddie, Eddie and Helen, and their, you know, their humour and their earthiness, and certainly it was I mean, we all got on really well, and I could tell the very first day that we started filming, they were just wrapping up the 60s, and so we were sort of like just past each other, and we all gave each other a hug and sort of passed the baton on, really, they did. And they just said, it's been fantastic. And it makes a huge difference.
And the way the directors interweaved it all, it's very clever.
I think he's done an incredible job alongside the editor, but I certainly know that when we were filming, James already had it all worked out in his head, and he was very specific about, okay, you need to now pick the teacup up now, because I've shot Ruth Bowen's mother-in-law pouring, and it's going to edit and cut to you drinking, and there were those sort of wonderful ties all the time, and I don't know how James actually could hold it all in his head, because it's quite complicated, really. And there were all these things. I mean, water is a constant feature, whether it's you know, a bead of sweat or a bath or drinking, or you know, it's so great, clever.
Now, when you were filming this, you were back in Surrey, because you're from Surrey, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And you're with your mum and dad?
Yes. It was the strangest thing, originally, because it's set in Yorkshire, and originally we were going to be filming up there outside of Leeds, and at that time I wasn't sure whether I could do it, because I had come over actually to have a holiday. And then they changed their minds and said, actually, it will be easier for us with crew and everything if we can film down outside London. And we found locations and that work. And I was never more than 20 minutes away from my mum and dad's house, so I just lived at home. It was fantastic.
And your daughter was with you, and did she help run lines with you or something?
She ran lines with me. She would come up. There was the house, literally Marchlands, was 5 minutes up the street from my parents' house. And so she'd come up and visit, hang out with Sydney and the little girls who were playing the ghost and everything. They all got on famously. It was fantastic.
Happy experience.
Yes.
And why should they tune in and give Marchlands a chance?
I think if you actually tune in and start watching, I think you will not be able to stop. It absolutely pulls you in. And it's a wonderful mystery that it's got so many twists and turns that if you consider yourself Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple, you will never figure it out. It's very good, and a fantastic cast, and it's different because they're constantly dealing with these 3 different eras in time, and they're all interwoven. It's not like anything else that's on television at the moment, and it's fabulous.
I've got to talk to you about Doctor Who, because you're currently filming that at the minute.
Yes.
Are you enjoying it? Because it's very different from Marchlands.
It's very different from Marchlands. The funny thing is, and I don't think well, maybe I am. No, I don't think I am giving anything away, because I think the BBC had put it out. But Sydney, I've worked with Sydney on Doctor Who. So she was back again. It was the strangest thing.
And is it fun?
Yeah. Yes, it's fun. Very different to this, but a lot of fun.
You can't give her anything.
I can't give anything.
Can't give spoilers, can you?
Can't, no,
spoilers.